अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। क्या हाल है जाज भाई?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। क्या हाल है कबीर भाई?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। आवाज सही आ रही है?
जी बिल्कुल।
अल्ताफ भाई सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन एल्स। सिस्टर नौशीन, ब्रदर मजीद।
वालेकुम सलाम।
वालेकुम। Okay. Okay, a few more minutes inshallah and then we'll start. The screen is clear.
Yes.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम रहमतुल्लाह। जाद भाई क्या हाल है?
हेलो।
जी जी आवाज आ रही है आपको? जाद भाई check your mic or your speakers. अस्सलाम वालेकुम जाद भाई, आवाज आ रही है?
हेलो।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। आवाज नहीं आ रही थी आपकी, परेशान हो गया।
नहीं आवाज
आ रही थी आपको?
थोड़ा आपका स्पीकर में कुछ गड़बड़ था, पहले आवाज साफ आ रही थी, अभी भी आ रही है आपकी
अच्छा।
आवाज। अब ठीक है आपको मेरी
क्लियर
आवाज
हो
आ
गया।
रही है? चलें ठीक है
या
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह।
श्योर।
ओके जी, तो बिस्मिल्लाह करते हैं इंशाल्लाह as more people join. नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम। औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। Alhamdulillah, once again, with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are here. So we are going to continue from where we left off, inshallah. एक second. Okay, ji. So what have we covered so far? We have covered the ta'uz, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and the meaning of that was that I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the shaitan, who is the outcast, ar-rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We said we start in the name of Allah, who is most merciful and most gracious, or continuously merciful. And then the next verse was Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Now I have written it again here for the benefit of making it more visible. So what is Alhamdu here? Alhamdu is Mubtada. And what is Lillahi? Did we talk about Lillahi last time? I don't hear anyone, so maybe unmute for a minute. Sister Zahra, Sister Kabir, Brother Kabir, can you guys please? Okay, so what is Alhamdu?
Mubtada.
Mubtada. Now, Mubtada is, when you say Mubtada, what pictures come in your mind?
It's a nominal sentence.
It's a nominal sentence. That's very good. So nominal sentence has two main parts. What are those?
Mubtada or khabar.
Mubtada and khabar. And for Mubtada, what do you look for?
It should be rafa.
It should be Rafa. Very good.
It should be nakra.
No. It shouldn't be
Marfa. Should be marfa.
That is the main category about Mubtada, that if you see a ma'arifa, then you can start looking for other signs. It's Rafa, and the gender and the number will follow. Question?
Yeah.
No, I was just saying Rafa,
Yes.
Ma'arifa, and
Ma'arifa.
gender and name should be the same.
Yes, gender and number should be follow with the khabar.
So are these marfa as a requirement?
What's that again?
Is marfa a requirement for a nominal
Mubtada,
sentence?
yes, very
Or
important.
mubtada.
Because mubtada, your candidate, any ism which is marifa is a candidate for mubtada. Now khabar,
So brother
yes,
Abid.
yes, sir.
So in other words, when we are reading Alhamdu,
Mm-hmm.
so do is telling us this is Rafa.
Yes, alhamdu is telling you is rafa. Very good,
Hamdo, and all is telling that it's Marfa.
very good.
Yeah.
Okay, very
So
good.
these are the
And
two signs when I
these are
see,
the
I would say this is Mubtada.
yes. So first of all, what did we look for last time? We looked at all the words and they were all nouns. There was no verb in it. Yeah.
Yes.
So when there was no verb, obviously jumla failure is out of the picture, correct?
Yes.
So when we look with an eye, with an analyzing eye, we said, oh, there is no verb, so I cannot be dealing with the jumla failure because jumla failure required me to have a fail and a must file. That is the basic bare minimum for a jumla failure, that you must have a fail and you must have a file, the doer of the verb, right? So we default down to jumla ismiya. Then the very first thing we're looking for is mubtada. And mubtada is the candidate which is marifa and also in the status of rafa. So we found alhamdu and we said, good, we got our mubtada. Now then we ran into lillahi. What is lillahi?
Jar majroor.
Jar majroor. When we have a jar majroor in a jumla ismiya, we know that it can never be a mubtada. Okay, we know that jar majroor can never be a mubtada because it's not marifa and it's not in rafa. Got it? For the method of elimination. Now, in some sentences, we will have a visible khabar, which is right there, and then we have a jar majroor, and in that case is known as mutalik khabar. What is known as mutalik khabar? For example, if I say Zaidun mawjudun fil bayti. So what did I say? That Zaid is present in the house. Let me write it down for you guys. Okay. Let's give you an example. Zaidun mawjudun
You can't see.
oh sorry, fil bayti. Okay. Is Zaid marifa?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a name, right? It's an alam. Yes, alam. Is it marifa and rafa?
Yeah, Rafa.
Yes. We got both categories done. Now, mawjudun mean mawjud. Urdu में कहते हैं घर में मौजूद है, right? Mawjudun mean present. He is the translation is Zaid is present in the house.
The house.
Got it? So far so good. So mawjudun is khabar and Zaidun is mubtada. Is this jar majroor? So this is jar majroor, correct? Then this is known as
So there is echo coming up, brother. I don't know.
yeah, I guess somebody has to mute his mic or they turned off.
Maybe we should mute.
Let's see. This is the first time it happened. Okay, I don't know which one. I have to try muting from. Okay. Who's there? Who else is there? Zara, try yours. Let's mute it first. Okay, is it better? This never happened before. Okay, let me try something. What can I try?
What's happening?
I don't know. Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Better
Now
now?
it's fine. Now it is fine.
Alhamdulillah, good. Okay, so back to our lesson. What we were saying, that in this sentence, I said that Zaidun is the mubtada. Agree? Mawjudun is the khabar. Fil bayti is jar majroor. So basically we know that is mutalliq khabar. So far so good? Now
Yeah.
if I take this away, and let's say it's not there. Okay, can I say Zaidun fil bayti?
Yeah.
Right? Meaning Zaid is in the house.
Yep.
So when you have a situation like this, that
Yeah.
means the khabar is mahzuf, meaning hidden or understood. Mahzuf mean is hidden, is not given. In that case, the mutalliq khabar can become khabar. Is that concept making sense?
Yeah.
So that is how we say here that the khabar is mahzuf and the jar majroor is acting as the khabar. That all the praises and thanks for Allah. And then on top of that, Allah is the one which is the Rabb of Alameen, who is the Lord of the worlds. And that is Rabbil Alameen is mudaf ilayh. So this, if you look at this line here, the Rabbil Alameen is mudaf ilayh, but this whole thing as alone is the sifa. Sifa means this is a quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one who is the Lord of the Alameen. He is the Lord of the worlds. So if we have a sifat, then we must have a mawsuf. And who are we talking about? Allah. So Allah is the mawsuf. Sifa is the quality and mawsuf is the quality of. Does that make any sense? Then this whole thing, jar majroor, this whole bracket becomes khabar. And that is how we said it's a jumla ismiya. Is that making sense, guys? You can unmute your mic for now and let's see if this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think now you got a little clear picture of this verse, that how did we got to this point, that why the people of grammar says if the khabar is not mawjood or the khabar is not present or is mahzuf, then the mutalliq khabar can be acting as a substitute khabar and it's absolutely allowed. Okay, but here we had the khabar here, but the khabar has additional information because Allah is the one who is mentioned here and his qualities are mentioned, or so he's the mawsuf, and then the quality is coming as muzaf ilayh because Rabbil Alameen, Lord of the worlds. So when you see the word of, that makes it muzaf ilayh. Yeah. So this is,
So yeah.
yes, go ahead.
So brother Abid,
Yeah.
can we say in other words that for Jumla Ismiya, Mubtada is a must,
Yes.
and Khabar could be either Khabar is there or Mutalliq Khabar is there.
Yes, you're right. So, and again, so far, what we have done, we have simply scratched the surface of the theory. Now, if I tell you the advanced lecture, you will see that Jumla Ismiya has further explanation. So, but in order to get to that level, let's get this basic level out of the way first. And then we will slowly open our minds and bring in more options and more variations of how Jumla Ismiya can be made. Okay. So after the Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, the next verse is Ar-Rahman Lir-Rahim. Now, what does it look like? What is Ar-Rahman? Is it a sifa? Okay. And
Yeah.
is it?
Ar-Rahim,
Yeah.
Sifat.
It's also Sifa.
Right. And again, if you focus, because when you're reading it alone, you may think that this is a alone verse, but it is actually connected to what? Lillahi. Where is the lillah is coming from? Here, because lillah is the khabar. Yes. So is it additional sifa of Allah?
Yes.
First condition was, first sifa was Rabbul Alameen, that Allah is the one who is the Lord of the worlds, and He is the Rahman and He is the Rahim. Is that making sense?
Yes.
So these two connect back to this,
The first time.
and then this Allah is still Mawsuf for this sifa and this sifa. So for the sake of clarity, I put it here just to show you that Allah is still Mawsuf here. Brother Fawad, are you with us? Okay, looks like his mic is mute. So, and again, with this exercise, I want you to open your mind to the fact that at the end of the last session or last, when we started this new session, if we had to go back to review, then I would have to start back from noun and then tell you about the four qualities of the noun or the four characteristics. And then I will go into a jumla, and then I will go into the murakkabat fragments. Now, with that pattern, we will keep going in a circle and we would not catch up to it because we'll not be applying those concepts anywhere. So these sessions, think about it that I am doing a review with you, but with the implementation of those concepts, right? So even if you don't get this 100%, even if you get 10%, I would say, Alhamdulillah, that's a good sign. Because in the process, we are clearing our other concepts which we have learned, but we didn't know the implementation of them. Do you guys agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what is the next verse? Maliki Yawmiddin. Right? Yawmiddin. Okay. So first I tell you that Malik is from the root letters Mim, Lam, and Kaf. Okay? Malik. And then it is Bab Daraba. Right? So Malaka Yamliku. Now for that, again, you have to go back to your concept of those tables, Fi'l Madi, Fi'l Mudare. How did we learn those different patterns? How many patterns we learned? 6. Ba Fataha, Daraba, Nasara, Samia, Hasiba, wa Karuma. Remember those? We spent quite a bit of time on that. So at that point in time, you may thought that, oh, that's a concept. Maybe you never took it seriously, but now anything you do in future, those will play a big role in everything you do. As soon as you ran into a verb, you would have to identify, oh, what are the root letters and what Bob I'm dealing with. Yeah. So Malaka, Yamliku, and the masdar is the name of the verb, is Malkan or Malkan. That means a Malik, to own something. And the person who owns something is known as Malikun. What is known as Malikun? उर्दू में कहते हैं कि ये इस घर का मालिक है. What does that mean? That he is the owner of the house. Now, when you have, for example, when you have, if I give you another example, let's say Abada Ya Budu. Yeah. What are the root letters? Ain, Ba, and Dal. Right? And looks like this is Bab Nasara. Right? Fataha or Fa'ala Yaf'ulu or Nasara Yansuru. Yes? Okay. Now, who is the doer of the action? What is the name of that doer? Abid.
Abid. Abid.
So Abid is what? File, right? He's the doer. How do we call him? We call him Abid. So the name of the file will be Ismul File. So the Ismul File for Abada Yabudu is Abid, and in Arabic this will be known as Ismul File. This is the way we call the file of this root letters. So Malaka, Yamliku, Malikun. Malikun is Ismul File. Okay. What is the maful? Ma'bud. So this is maf'ul. So this is ismul maf'ul. Are you understanding the terminology, what I'm trying to say here?
Yes.
Right. So if I say the root letters are Ain, Ba, and Dal, and your Bab is Nasara, so right away in your mind it should be Abada Yabudu. Okay, that's good. What is the Ismul file? Abid. What is the Maful? Mabud. What is the Masdar? Ibadah.
Ibadat.
Yeah. So this is how I'm saying Maliki Yomid Deen. And Malik is a sifat because he's the owner. That tells me something about him. And then who's the Mawsuf from the previous verse? Lillahi. So Allah is still Mawsuf. With the same token, when we said Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim is still going back to this Lillah. So it's a continuation of the sentence. Then all the praises for Allah, who is the Lord of the worlds, who is the most gracious, who is the most merciful, and He is the owner of the day of judgment or day of Qiyamah. Right? So Maliki is also a sifa. But Yawmiddin, does it look like Muzaf ilayh?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Yawmi.
Deen is, there is a multiple meaning of word deen. Deen also means your religion. Okay,
Yeah,
deen is also a jaza or saza, like a badla. Badla mean revenge or a return, right? So Yawmiddin, the day of judgment,
Judgment.
meaning you will get the badla, the jaza or saza on that day. Whatever you have done, if you have done good, you get jaza. If you have done bad, you get saza, right? So Yawmuddin. So technically, Yawmuddin is Yawmuddini, right? Yawmuddini. Sorry, what was
ऊपर है.
Yawmuddini. This is mudaf ilay. Making sense? But why is it in kasra here? Because of this maliki. Correct? Because lillahi, so anything which will be in continuous, they all will have kasra. Okay. So, and this was the root letter for the deen, dal, ya, noon. It was bab daraba, daina, yadainu, and then yadainu, dinan, wa dinan. So this is the different words. Qiyamat ka din, badle ka din. Let me tell you something about this. I want to tell you about this a little bit more than what we have talked about. Let's see if I can get a piece of paper. Okay. Mudaf or Murakkab Izafi has two kinds, a simple kind and a complex kind. Okay. So what is the simple kind? The simple kind is I say Kitabullahi, Allah's book. We went over this last time, correct? Yeah. Guys, are you with me? Now, the sentence is owner of the day of judgment. How many offs you have?
Two.
Two. So it's no longer simple. It becomes complex. For example, Maliku Yaumi. So what is the translation? This is Muzaf, right? And this is Muzaf ilay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Agree with me?
Owner of the day.
Right? That is the owner of the day. So I got one. But then also have the day of judgment, which is
Abdul.
Adini.
Continue.
Does Adini, does it look like Muzaf ilay again?
Yeah.
Who's the Muzaf for this?
Yom.
Yom.
So look, Muzaf, Yom, Muzaf ilay for this, Muzaf for this. You see what I'm going with this? This Malik, if I had it up to here, it's a simple Murakkab Izafi. Maliki Yomi, the day of the owner of the day. But when I bring the Ad-Din, Yawmiddin, is Yom has Al on it?
No.
Does Yom have
No.
Al? No. Does it have a Tanween?
No.
No.
No. So is it a good candidate for Muzaf?
Yes.
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 And Ad-Dini, is it Halat Jar?
Yes.
And it is also has Al, and Al is allowed on the Muzaf ilay.
Yes.
And Yawmiddin, the day of judgment.
Judge.
So in this sentence, this is a complex Murakkab Izafi. One word is both Muzaf and Muzaf ilay. Muzaf ilay for the previous one and Muzaf for the one coming after it.
Yeah.
Is that making sense? Now look at this one more time. Malik, Muzaf. Agree? And Muzaf, Yom is Muzaf ilay for Malik and Muzaf for Ad-Din. You guys see that?
Mhm.
Yeah. And all of this as sifat for the Mawsuf, which is Allah. You guys see what I'm going with this? Say something, Jawad bhai, Sister Umema.
Sorry, brother, I'm driving, so that's why I'm not responding.
Oh, brother Fawad, you're driving. So it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
No,
So I'm just
please
focusing on listening.
Please
Sorry
focus
for that.
on the
Yeah.
driving. No. Please focus on the driving.
Okay.
Okay, Sister Umema and Sister Zahra. Let's see if you guys can help me out. Are we clear on this? If you're not clear on this, we are still here. We can go over this again.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you said complex Maliki Yomiddin and Yomi became one time it changes for both. If it was just Maliki Yomi,
Yeah.
that
Then
will
it
make
wouldn't be complex. So
simple
here,
then?
yeah. So if I write it the way you were asking me, Maliku Yom, Yomi, Maliki Yomi. So this is
Yeah.
a simple. There is no
Simple.
complexity, right? But the
Okay.
moment I said, Deen, then it becomes, now there is a relationship between these two, right? And for
Yeah.
that, this is Muzaf and this Muzaf ilay.
Yes.
And for this, this was Muzaf and this was Muzaf ilay. So that is why it's called complex, because this is acting as both Muzaf and Muzaf ilay. Muzaf ilay for this
Yeah.
one and Muzaf for this.
So it has two roles.
Yes. So if I can say Zaid's son's book, Do you see? Is it simple or is it complex?
Complex.
Complex,
Complex.
because sun will act as
And
muzaf ilay for this, or sun will be muzaf for this and muzaf ilay for this,
yes.
right? So this is exactly
Okay.
what I was trying to tell you, that in a sentence you could run into a complex muzaf ilay or murakkab izafi, which will act like a chain, and inshallah you will start to see this. And how did I do this? Because I started to the sentence in English. I said, owner of the day of the judgment. Yeah,
Okay.
right? Or I say, owner of day of the judgment, right? So, inshallah, if this is clear, then basically we have covered up to Maliki Yawmiddin. So, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praises and thanks to Allah, who is the Rabb of all the worlds, who is the most gracious and the most merciful. And same Allah we're talking about, He is the owner of the day of the judgment. Is that making sense? Inshallah, this will help us in memorizing Surah Fatiha in a different way. And also, we are familiar with the the different concepts in Surah Al-Fatiha. Also, we are coming across the you can tell me why this status is, whether it's kasra or it is dhamma or fatha, because you know the rules now. You guys see the big picture, inshallah?
Um,
Any questions before I move on?
So go ahead, please.
Ji? Jaza, you said?
Proceed, please.
Proceed. Okay, inshallah. So
Proceed.
today I want to talk about a very important concept, which is basically a new concept. And this concept we briefly touched upon in our very, very first class, the one some of you took with me. And that lecture is about weak letters. Those weak letters are wow. The letter wow is known as weak letters, and then letter ya is also known as
Alif.
weak letters, and alif is also considered a weak letters. In Arabic, they are known as harufe illat, or harufe illah, huruf, hurufe illah. Illah or alil means sick or weak. Okay. So why are these weak letters important to learn? Because when they come, we get into a challenge when we see them, number one, in a noun, like a ism, and number two, in a verb. Okay. And these letters can hide behind alif. Okay. For example, if I have wow and ya, they can hide behind, or ya, alif. Okay. And this ya can also hide behind this ya, which doesn't have the two dots, and is known as alif maksura. Who remember alif maksura? We learned it when we were learning the feminine and masculine. Okay. In this, the another challenge with these words is that they don't carry a vowel sign. What is the meaning of a vowel sign in Arabic? Meaning they do not carry
حركات
ara, fatha or kasra.
كسرة
Okay. Now technically, when you see a fatha, basically it has alif. Fatha, when you see a letter vowel sign fatha, you know it's a sound of alif. When you see a dhamma, what is the sound?
Ooh.
Wow, right? And when you see a kasra, the sound is
E.
yeah. So because of that, these are some of the challenges that these letters, first of all, they're known as weak letters, and they throw us some challenges when they come in a noun, and challenges when we are dealing with the fail. And they can simply hide behind an alif. Like somewhere you will see an alif, but technically it was a waw or a ya. We don't know that until we really investigate whether which letter is there. And hopefully I'll show you some examples today to make you understand this. Okay, so far so good. Are we clear on this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do now, I'm going to explain to you in reference to a verb this information. Okay, how do I do that? Am I running out of paper? It looks like I'm running out of paper. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay. When we are dealing with a verb, what is our pattern?
فعل
Fa'ala, right? So, and we know that we have talked about this so many times that this fa'ala has three parts: the fa,
عين لام
ain, and lam. This is we know that, right? So we call it fa kalima, ain kalima, and lam kalima. Okay. So the possibility is that in the fa position, I can run into a waw or alif or ya. Is it possible? In the ain kalima, I can run into a waw, alif, or ya. Or same thing, in the waw position, I can run into waw, alif, or ya. And what are these? These are weak letters, correct? They have a name. When they come in these verbs, in these categories, they have a name called al-mu'tal. What is the name? Al-mu'tal, meaning the weak letters or the sick letters. Okay. When they come in the position of fa, they have a name al-mu'attalu al-fa. That means they are mu'attal in the position of the fa letter. And when they are in the mu'attal in the position of ain letter, they're known as mu'attalu al-ain. Can you guess the name of the next one?
معطل لا
معطل العين معطل اللام.
And inshallah, when you see the example, you'll be able to identify this. This is, don't get too worried about this. You know, this is, I think it's pretty easy to understand. If they come in the position of fa, the name is mu'attal. So you can say this is mu'attalul fa, this is mu'attalul ain, this is mu'attalul lam. And then they have names. They also have names. This one, when it's mu'attalul fa, the simple name is al-misal. What is the name?
المثال
And when they are mu'talul ain, they're known as ajwaf. Okay. And then when they are in the position of lam, they're known as annakis. Okay. The meaning of al-misal is like simulated,
المثال
simulated verbs. Okay. And ajwaf is basically, it's the mouth, the middle part of your mouth, which is hollow. So this is hollow verbs. What kind of verb?
follow
Hollow verbs. Okay. Annakisa, meaning they are defective.
Defective verbs.
أجل
Okay. So what did we learn today? What did we learn so far? We learned that if the three root letters or the three weak letters, which is waw, alif, and ya, in a verb, they can come in the position of a fa or ain or lam. When they come, they're known as mu'attal. The weak letters are known as al-mu'attal. When they come in the position of letter fa, they're known as al-mu'attalul fa. When they come in the position of ain letter, we known as al-mu'attalul ain. And lam letter, al-mu'attalul lam. And their easy name or simple name, instead of remembering this is al-misal, al-ajwaf, al-naqis. So if I say this is ajwaf, what do you understand? That this is a weak letter in the position of ain. If I say an-naqis, you know that I'm talking about a weak letter in the position of lam. And if I say al-misal, you know that I'm talking about a weak letter in the position of fa. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at an example. And I'll give you an example of al-mu'talul ain. And by the way, we will repeat this. I know maybe in the first session it may not make a complete sense, but we will do it over and over again. So what is the name for al-mu'talul ain?
الجاف hollow
Al-ajwaf.
verbs الأجوف
Ajwaf, right? Okay. The example is this, and you have seen this example so many times. Qala. Okay. Let me write it down differently so that you understand what I'm talking about. So let's say I write qa and lam with the black and lam, this alif with the green. Is it looking green? No, it doesn't look green.
No.
Okay, let's try blue. Okay. Now, if this is the fa letter and this is the ain letter, this is the lam letter, where is the alif? In the position of ain. So this is an example of ajwaf.
okay.
Sister Umima, is it making sense now?
Sorry.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Now, the challenge is, by looking at this, we cannot tell much that what kind of weak letter is this? Is it waw or was it a ya? Because we see alif. Yes? What did we say a few slides back? That these letters, they hide behind
Alif.
alif. So we don't know whether this was supposed to be a waw or this is supposed to be a ya. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So how do we find that out? So for that, we have to understand a few things. This is madi, fil madi, qala, yeah? Like fa'ala. Got it? Yes? If I write fa'ala like this, it's gonna be fa La, right? Because ayn letter is alif. I cannot connect it anymore because it becomes fa'ala. Come on,
Then
guys.
what's the meaning of fala?
No, no. There is no meaning of fa'ala. But I'm saying, I'm trying to make you understand. This qala is on the pattern of fa'ala. Yes. If I substitute the letters, then the ayn letter will be replaced by alif, and it will look like fa'ala, which is right now qala here.
Qala.
Yeah. Okay. So mazi, I cannot find out whether this was a wow or ya. So I have to look at the mudare. So mudare for this is yaku,
Yeah, cool.
yakulu. Okay. Now, is this the alamat mudare?
Yeah.
Alamat mudare. So this is mudare. Is this my fa letter?
Yeah.
Yes. What is my ain letter?
Oh,
What is my lam letter?
yeah.
Making sense? So right away, by looking at the mudare, I found out that this is supposed to be a wow. This wow is hiding behind an alif in this one. In Madi, this wow is hidden or got replaced by an alif. Brother Altaf, are you there?
Yes, I'm writing at yeah.
Okay,
I think
and I am
it's
doing
now
this.
giving sense.
Yes, and
Abid,
this,
you will get thrown off. The root words are always Madi. So how come we are driving Madi from
okay.
present?
Just hold on. I'm gonna give you the rest of the details. Okay.
Okay.
So, and this is the part we have to understand. So what happened is these weak letters. Remember, we said that they give us a challenge when they come in a verb or a noun. And right now we're dealing with an example of a noun. And I started with qala. Okay. So as brother Javed is saying, the root letters are kaf, waw, lam. And the pattern is bab, nasara, or noon. Okay. If this is the case, then what will be our pattern?
يقول
Kawala, yaku, yakwalu. Actually, because in our nasara, this becomes this. Okay. I will give you
ينصر
the idea. See, nasara, yan.
ينصر
Yan is sakin, su, ru. Okay. Now look at this. This is Kavala. According to Brother Javed, the Mada, he said, is supposed to be on the Madi, based on the Madi. The Madi is supposed to be Kavala because the Bab is
Correct.
Nasara. Making sense?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And Yakulu is the Mudare. Sorry, not Yakulu, Yakwalu. Yakwalu. Stay with me, guys. The pattern was Nasara Yansuru. I put these root letters in this pattern. Nasara becomes Kavala and Yansuru becomes Yakwalu. Are you with me so far?
Yakvolu. Is it
Huh?
wa is kasra or dama?
Sorry, Yakvulu. You're right. Yakvulu. So far, so good? Okay? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is where we are saying that technically it was supposed to be this. But how many times have you seen this word in the Quran, Kavala?
Never.
Never. You always see Qala.
Wala.
Yes. Because we said these weak letters, they are weak letters, so they disappear and they switch places with each other. Waw and ya can hide behind alif. How do I know? Because it is qala yaqulu. And I saw the waw in the mudare. It was not present in the madi. So I know that this waw was replaced by alif. Or waw is hiding behind alif. Okay. Now then
So
you can ask me that, okay, how does it is yakulu and it is yakwalu or yakwulu. So how does it become yakulu? First of all, this waw becomes alif, so it becomes kala. Agree? Then how this become yakulu? Because we said this
Weak letter.
this
The original
wow.
word was Kavala.
Say that again.
I'm saying, Abid, that the original word was Kavala, and that's why it has become Yakulu.
Yes, but it is not yakulu, it is yakwulu.
Yeah.
Yakwulu. But over here we have yakulu. There is a difference here because this is qala yakulu. The weak letters, when they come in the verb, they change our tables, and we need to find out. So if you play along, I'll tell you what I mean by that. So this wow is a weak letter, correct? What did I tell you a few minutes ago? That
The wow and ya
letters,
can hide behind alif.
these weak letters do not carry a vowel sound sign. So
Yes.
this wow here has what sign?
No vowel. So
It has a dhamma,
Dhamma.
and this wow does not want to have a sign. So what it says to the kaf, it says kaf, you take my sign. So the dhamma shift to the left, and then what is become? Yakwalu become yakulu. Is this yakulu
Yakulu.
and this yakulu same? I'm trying to explain to you how this
Yes.
substitution happens. Qawala become qala for madi, and yakwulu become yakulu. Because have you seen yakwalu in the Quran?
No.
No. So that is what is the rules behind this, and this is the part of this exercise, that when the weak letters they come into the picture, they throw a challenge at you, they give you more work to do, because they switch places with each other, they also switches the vowel signs. Okay, so if this is the case, what else do we know about our we have something like, remember the gardan, fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. How many people remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So then this will become qala, qa, qala, it will be qala, then it
Qalu.
will become qalu. And what is the next one?
Qalat.
You're right. Qalat,
Lat.
qalata,
Qalata.
and then
Qalanna.
qalanna. So it's supposed to be, let me, if I write it down here, fa'alat, fa'alata,
Fa'alata. Fa'alna.
alna, fa'al,
Na.
yeah, because we have the hunna here, right?
Yes.
Now this is supposed to be kulna, but if we look at the kala, it becomes, do you see what happened here? How would you say this? Kalan, kal, kalan. This
Qalan.
word is very hard to pronounce. Yes. So the rule is here that what happens, that we know that this is Bab Nasara, right? Do we know this is Bab Nasara? We know that Bab Nasara, right? We're saying Kala is Bab Nasara,
Qala yaqulu.
right? So it is, what is the sign on the Ain Kalima?
Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Dhamma. So basically what you do, you basically go put a Dhamma on this, and you remove the alif and you mix it with this, you make it kulna. Okay, kulna. So think about it for a second. I'm gonna get more paper.
Qalna.
Too much.
Okay. Is it making sense?
There will be a shadda on noon or no? It's only
Kulna, actually, I think
kunna.
this kulna is fine. I think. This is fa'alna, not fa'al anna nahi hai ye, fa'alna. 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 Is it fa'al?
Ain should be before lam.
Fa'alna. Fa'alna.
Ain.
Okay, so now this fa'alna and this kulna looks similar. Okay. In order to do this, let me use another piece of paper. Okay. Let's make it in a different way. Let's look at fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. So far with me? Then the next one
Yes.
will be fa'alat,
Fa'alata.
fa'alata.
Ta.
Fa'al.
Okay, so then the next one will be
Fa'ain. Yeah.
fa'alna. Sorry,
Fa'ain lam nun.
fa'alna, right? Fa'al,
Fa'ain lam.
yeah, ain right here. Fa'alna,
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Okay, we stop here. Why? Because now I have to make this similar. So qala, qala, qalu, yeah, qalat, yes, qalata, yes. Are you guys with me so far? Can you see what I'm doing right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying
Yes. Yeah.
on the pattern of fa'ala, qala, fa'ala, qala, qala, fa'alu, qalu, fa'alat, qalat, fa'alata, qalata, or qalata. Now I have to make this one. If I do this one, it will become like this. Agree? If you get this, then we were ready to move forward. Why would it look like this? Because the ain letter has alif.
Damma.
If I write here,
Alif.
fa,
Hmm.
ain, and then I make a gap here, is it looking like this now? Because instead of ain, it will become fa, because now the ain letter is replaced by alif. So it looks like this, but it's supposed to look like this. This is wrong, this is wrong.
Hmm.
So how do I make this one look like this? I have the additional alif here. Okay. So alif is a weak letter. What is he going to do? It's going to exit. Okay. If it exit, then we are left with this one. Agree?
Yeah.
Then it's hard to read because we don't know what will be the haraka on the qaf.
Qaf.
For that, we have to look at the bab. And what is this? Bab nasara. Because qala, yaqulu is bab nasara. I'm telling you that. I'm giving you that information. So in bab nasara, what is the mudare? Yan
ينصروا.
Shuru.
Turu. Is this the ain letter?
Yes.
So then this alif, when it moves, it shifts the haraka to the left. So we'll have kulna. Is that making sense? I'm just telling you
Yeah.
how these weak letters you have to deal with that. So after the fa'alna was fa'alta, sorry, fa'alta,
فعلت. Yeah.
fa'altuma,
Yeah. فعلتما.
fa'altum,
فعلتم.
fa'alti,
فعلتما.
fa'altuma,
فعلتن.
fa'altunna. See, remember how important this to know this. Okay, and then what's the next one? Fa'altu,
فعلت.
I did
فعلنا.
it, fa'alna. Okay, so because of these weak letters, after here, it will become kulta, kultuma. I don't have to worry about now because I fixed this problem. So kultuma, kulti, kultuma, and
قلنا
kultunna.
قلنا
Then
قلت. قلنا.
kultu,
قلنا.
قلتن.
kulna.
قلنا. I think only. قلنا.
So this is how you deal with the weak letters, and it will not come to you unless you have been very good with the girdan, or you know what I'm talking about, because if you don't know this, it's hard to do this. Okay, so since we are out of time, I'm going to do a very quick review, and inshallah we're not done yet. We will do this again in the next session, because if we do not understand these weak letters, our future analysis will become very hard. So in a nutshell, we said that we have root letters or some weak letters. They are known as waw, alif, and ya, and they are there for a reason, and they give us a lot of trouble when they come in a noun and a verb. And the reason they give us trouble because they can hide behind an alif. And you saw the example of qala. In the madi, you saw the alif, but you didn't know whether it was a waw or ya until we looked into the mudare, and then we start investigating and we found out that is it the waw which is hiding behind an alif. Yeah, you see that, right? And then another problem we had, that they do not carry a vowel sign, so it's hard for us to know. So what happened, we need to understand in the verb category, we have a pattern called fa'ala, and fa'ala has 3 root letters, fa, ain, lam, and they could come in the position of the fa letter. It could be waw, alif, or ya, or waw, alif, and ya, and they have a name. When they come in the position of fa, they're known as al-mu'talul fa. When they come in the place of ain letter, they are known as mu'talul ain and al-mu'talul lam. And the simple name, if you don't want to remember these, then this one is known as misal, known as ajwa, and this is known as an-naqis. Okay. Then we said, okay, let's look at mu'talul ain, which is al-ajwa. And I give you the example, qala, because in the Quran, you see a qala a lot. Okay. But when we investigate it, in the Madi, it is known as qala. Now, where is it happening? In the position of ain letter. Is alif one of the weak letters?
Yes.
Yes. But what are we after? We are after the waw and the ya. We want to know which one is hiding behind alif. Yes. So we had to look at the mudare. When we looked at the mudare, we saw yaqulu, because in yaqulu, ya is the alamat mudare, so we don't care about that. That is not our criteria. Our fa letter starts from the letter fa, and the ain letter is waw. That right away told me that this alif is supposed to be a wow. So wow is hiding in this situation behind alif. So far so good. Do you got this much? Did you understand this part?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
so
some, yeah, so
Okay,
far,
no
yeah.
worries, no worries. So again, try to remember in plain English. I'm saying that wow and ya, they can hide behind an alif.
Behind the L. Yes.
When I saw qala here, my job was to know whether this alif is because of wow or this alif is because of ya. And in order to find that out, I had to look at the mudare. And the mudare right away gave me the information. Oh, in the ain letter in mudare is wow. So wow is basically replaced alif in the madi. So it is supposed to be wow here. Yeah. So then we said, okay, let's investigate further. So if the mada is because the mada become kaf, wow, and lam. Yes. And if I put
Yeah,
it in my bab nasira, it's going to be nasara. Nasara will become qawala. So far, so good.
Yansuru.
And yansuru
Yes,
become yakwulu. Yes.
Mhm.
But do I
yes,
see qawala in Quran? No, I don't see qawala in Quran. Do I see yakwulu? No, I don't see that. So that is why in Madi, the wow replaced it. Said, okay, Alif, you take over. I can't fit in here. So you go in my place. So it becomes qala. Yes. But here,
yes,
yakwulu, how do we deal with that? Because there is a sukoon on kaf, and wow, being a weak letter, does not want to have a sign. So it says to kaf, kaf, help me out, you take my sign. Instead of sukoon, you take my dhamma, and I will be without a sign. So then it becomes yaqulu. Is that part making sense?
yeah,
Okay, so that is the idea. And in any language, we play by the rules. If you are playing a game and we have to follow the rules, doesn't matter how weird the rules are, I'm supposed to memorize them, I'm supposed to understand them. And so far with my logic, I get the point.
and this is
Okay.
only for like qala. So this will be different for other like weak letters,
Yes.
like for other.
So right now I'm only dealing with qala, and inshallah in further example, we will start looking at other example where the wow, alif will be hidden by a ya. Okay. So inshallah, this
Okay.
lecture will be repeated. But so far, I think if you got this much, at least you got your feet wet, then next time you will have a more open, you know. I could not
Yeah.
cover a lot of other stuff, but I hope that you guys see the big picture here. And instead of
Yeah.
getting discouraged, you should get excited like me. This is good stuff. And the Quran is full of this. So you cannot hide from this. This is one of a very important subject. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So inshallah, don't worry, we are good. Even if you got 5%, hey, wonderful job, mashallah. You guys did a great job. And do not let the shaitan tell you that, hey, this is hard. But one piece of advice, guys. Look, I cannot open my heart and show you, but I love all my students and I love all of you. Fi sabilillah,
so
for the sake of Allah. And I do a lot of hard work to bring it to you, but I cannot put it in your head just because of my hard work. You have to work with me. You have to show me, you have to come at least you have to come close to me in some category. You have to start doing a review. You have to start reading this material on your own, because it doesn't matter how hard I try, it will not work single-handedly. You both have to work together on this. Do you agree on this?
Inshallah.
Yes.
Inshallah. So if you do not write this down
Yes, inshallah.
and if you do not review this, wallahi, next time when you come, you will be blank as a slate again. Yeah. Okay. So I leave
Yes.
you with this. You have the video to watch again. Whatever I have said, every word I've said, if you really want to grab it, please sit down, watch my video and write it down stop it, try to understand what you have written, try to grab the concept behind it, then you will see the difference. It took me 3 days to get this myself. I've been writing or doing this. Now I didn't even show you. This is my writing. I did it on with a regular pen. Look at this. All of this I have written again. I couldn't write the whole thing yet because we ran out of time. Okay. So the point is not to show you that, oh, how great I am. No, I'm just saying that it takes hard work. Otherwise, it will not come to me. Then I cannot transfer it to you. Yeah. So I do my part. Please, you guys do your part and meet me halfway or 25% or somewhere so that I feel that this hard work is not going to waste, inshallah. And your time is very valuable. Mashallah, I'm so impressed with you guys. I'm so proud of you that, mashallah, every day, every time the class time, you're there on time and you're really putting hard effort. I don't doubt your intentions. Wallahi, I don't doubt your intentions. Okay. And I have a lot of respect for each and every one of you. So please, let's get to the next level. We have come a long way. Yeah.
Inshallah.
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 Jazakallah khair. Subhanakallah.
Jaza-
Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.
أتوب إليك. جزاك الله خيرا.